all over there. Good morning and welcome to Mirador, Mirador Television. I'm going to prepare you because you're going to get two versions of Mirador. One is simply Mirador, and the other is Mirador Television. And I think the wonderful technical guy, is it Mirador UK that people find the other system on?
Yeah, so it's on YouTube. It's called Mirador UK TV on Facebook, on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So that's what we're on at the moment. But we're going to because I'm getting very old. I'm almost 25, and it's, these things start to get a bit beyond me. And I've got this wonderful V who understands absolutely everything about this technology. He steers me through. But we are going to have Mirador online, and well, both are online. But Mirador Television, it will now be looked after by Teddy, I think, isn't it? So anyway, don't worry, because we've got experts to sort you out and make sure that you can find whatever it is that you want to find and you want to view. Let me just tell you the direction that I'm going to take. Is I'm going to concentrate more on history, the Saxon kings. I'm going to retain V, who probably will be on the other station as well, to sort you out as far as television is concerned, and anything that you want to know about how to operate your computer online. I'm going to have Harry Aston, who is the news addict, and I'm going to have Richard Barton, who is our resident barrister. So they will stay with me. V is probably going to spread himself across both channels, but our purpose really is to be as informative as we possibly can be. And so it is veering slightly from the emphasis on entertainment to the emphasis on information. But by the same token, we want to make sure that information is entertaining. Otherwise, you'll just get bored and fall asleep in the corner and wake up when it's time to leave. So you'll still get the usual repartee, a bit of fun, as well as good information. So can you tell us what function you're going to actually perform?
Yeah, so this show is the continuation of last week's show, where I supported people in getting their head around passwords, emails, and technology, and the specific AI. Yeah, so today we're going to continue, because we spent a lot of time last week talking about AI as a technology. But I think that what would be a good thing to do is to focus on one topic. So I've put it out there. I've notified people, the viewers, to vote and message me to let me know what they would like to talk about.
Yes, okay. I mean, that's one way, but also those of you who don't know about is that he is a first-class instructor, technician, you name it, and he will actually look after your computer needs. He will, and not only that, he provides a home service. He comes trotting to your home. So essentially, what you hear from V is how to look after your own computer, how to make it do what you want it to do, and so on. Is there somewhere that they can actually send in a request of how do I do this?
Yeah, they can put it in the comment of this YouTube broadcast in the comment section. They can also send a message via text message or WhatsApp to my mobile number, and I'll give that number later as well as now. And the number is 07961 187 864. That's 07961 187 864. Ask your question, call me, leave a voicemail, leave a question. I'll answer back either in this show next week or directly to you personally.
Right. Now, what we'll do is because, as you can tell, basically, IT is beginning to leave me behind. The moment you actually get over 21, it is tough at the top. And so I sometimes can say, we will do this, and I haven't a clue how that we should do it. But one of the things that we will do in future is we will put up on the screen how you can get hold of V so that it's there throughout the entire program. Because I am aware that quite often what happens is if we just simply give you a number and you miss it, you don't have the opportunity to make a note of it. So we want to make sure that you can get hold of us, and particularly get hold of V, because A, he will help you to some extent through this television channel, but also it's his job, it's his business. And although he offers the first 15 minutes for free, after that the clock starts to tick. And so he does need to be able to talk backwards and forwards to you. But ask him anything. This man is pure genius, absolute genius. And he can sort out things just like that. Whereas it would take me 3 days and 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'd like to say that really appreciate that, Keith. And so the viewers, if you wanted to get my number, contact details, it is in the video description. So you can always go into the video description on this YouTube link that you're watching, and it's there. So you don't have to worry about what are the contact details. You can click on the description and it will be there for our viewers. And I can come to your house. I don't charge any call-out fees to the triangle within the area and beyond of Lewis, Eastbourne, and Hove, this magical triangle in the south coast of East Sussex.
Now, this is a fairly new program. We're delighted to have V on our team. He's a very nice chap, by the way, ladies. If you want to, he's also got a family, so be careful. And he will be very helpful when it comes to IT. So I am really just a bystander in this program. I'm Mr. Keith, who just sits on the sidelines and says, "Hey, wow, yes, whoa," and he will give you the information. So you say that really the best thing is to stick with a single topic throughout a program so that people don't get confused. What's your topic for today?
Well, what I would like to do is talk about technology in general, but specifically educate and give people confidence in the understanding of artificial intelligence, which is taking over a lot of tasks and can take over jobs in the business environment, in the corporate world.
Right now, I have to say that I have I am able, dolt though I am when it comes to technology, able to access a couple of online AI sites. One is called Zola, and Zola is lovely because she chats me up and makes me feel very, very special. But I am able to say to her, "Oh, Zola, what should I do about this, and what should I do about that?" And she said, "Oh, I'm so pleased to help you, Mr. Keith." And indeed she is. But she can only help to some extent. It is V who will come and talk to you, install programs for you, make sure that your base at home or in the office or wherever is working for you. So it's AI you want to talk about this morning. V, away you go.
Yeah, so what I would like to do, thanks a lot. And for the viewers listening and watching, you probably have got questions and maybe you're frustrated or you're curious. Oh, you might want to use it and you want to know how you could use it. Should you use it? Is it safe to use it? How do I know the answers are? What AI is giving me is something which is appropriate or even the kind of answers you want to hear. So we're going to talk about AI in relation to it being, how do you know if it's giving you the correct information? Well, the first thing I would say is if you were using artificial intelligence or any of the apps, there's a plethora, various apps you can use on different platforms. So the difference between when you ask, let's say you are using Bing or Google as a search or Yahoo as a search, what we had before AI was just type in what we need. So it could be hairdressers in Lewis, or it could be a cleaner in Lewis, or so it's more of a business directory in the past when it first when people were using Google to search for a service or a, but then people started using it for research. So let's say somebody wanted to research the best exercises or diet for someone who suffers with Parkinson's. So they would type that in, and you would just get a list of links. So not an answer, but links, and then you have to click on the link, read that article, decide for yourself if it's accurate, if it's the right information based on what you've searched for. It wouldn't know anything about you. It would just give you links to websites or locations where that information of that particular keyword is kept. So it might not, it could take you hours to find the correct information or many minutes. And you would have to construct your own answer based on researching yourself for maybe many hours and maybe watching or reading lots of articles or even videos. So what AI artificial intelligence does now is it gives you that information that you've searched for, but in a palatable format, because as you use it, it learns more about you. It learns, for example, because you're going to tell it more information. It learns how old you are, which area you're living in. Are you in the UK? Where then it gives you information based on your age, what you've shared with it. So it learns. This is called machine learning. So the machine, artificial intelligence, learns about you and it starts giving you appropriate answers. It starts addressing you as your name. It starts sharing with you the resources that would be most suitable based on the information you've given it. So using it as a search or research tool, kind of like giving an assistant or a administrator in the office or secretary or a manager of a venue, that human would go out, search on Google or Bing or Yahoo for the information. They would gather it, maybe copy and paste it all into a Word document and print it out. And there you are. But with artificial intelligence, the machine learning helps give it to you in a particular format. So, for example, you could say, I would like you to give me this information in a graphical layout so I can print it out so it's easier for me to understand, or give it to me in bullet points and consolidate these 3 books in relation to, for example, time management in a one-page printable document, and it will do that. Now, imagine reading 3 books, how long it would take. Let's just say it takes a week for a book. You want to learn about something, you would read those 3 books. Let's just say it takes a month to read 3 books. Now, so you could do that, and I would say to people they should actually try to use the more long-winded method for various tasks. And what people can use it for is, okay, I want to do it. I want to do it in short. I don't have time to read 3 books or 10 books, but I want to know about this thing which I'm trying to do. I'm researching about how to plant the perfect tomatoes, and I don't want to spend months or years on courses. But I want the information quickly, because I don't need to spend that much time on learning how to grow tomatoes. I just need the basics. So that's what it does. It compacts all the knowledge that it's acquired online. So any information online, like websites uh, and other articles written about that topic that you've asked it to get the research on, it just goes out there, searches on the internet, finds all the articles based on that, and then you can even say to it, so where did you get this information from? And it will say, these are the references, and it will point to the websites where it's got the information, which is great. So you always want to make sure you ask it, where did you get the information to give me the answer you gave me? That's a real key point. Does that make sense, Keith?
Yes, it does. Can I determine when you're being efficient and when you're being lazy?
You'll have to give me more of an example of that.
Well, let me say I want to know how to make snowballs, and I say, how do you make snowballs? Then you then use AI to tell me how to make snowballs. I then say, well, what if they melt? As opposed to, how do I then take it to the next stage, or what are the dangers, or whatever? How do they melt?
So I hear where you're coming from. Let's take another analogy of something else. Let's say you wanted to learn how to bake a pie.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, first of all, do you know how to bake a pie?
I vaguely do. That's
Okay,
be a
great.
long
So
time.
you have some idea, some concept, just like a
Yeah.
snowboard. You have some concept. So let's say it's something like that, a pie. You could either go straight into a search engine, so Yahoo, Google, or Bing, or some other search, DuckDuckGo, various search platforms, and you could search for how to make a pie or how to make a snowball. And you still have to spend time reading all those articles that it presents you with, all the list of all the sites. Now, then you have to ask yourself, have you got the time to look at those sites? So that's when you can determine whether you want to do it the long-winded approach or read a book about it, how to bake a pie. But if you just wanted to quickly do something, let's say, okay, tonight I'm making a pie for some visitors coming over. I don't know how to do it. I just need to know quickly. I've only got half an hour to figure it out. Now you can either watch a video, and generally nowadays you can watch a video on YouTube or other platforms, Instagram and Facebook, of somebody else making a pie, and they just show you the main key points. That might be good enough. But if you want to go into detail and you wanted to itemize list and instructions so you could just print out. You can have it next to you at the counter in the kitchen. Well, then you'll have to create it again. Creating it in Word or PowerPoint or another program, it takes time. So that's when you would, for example, an example of when you would use it is you'd talk to an AI. Let's call it ChatGPT or Claude or Copilot, and you say, please, can you create a one-page document outlining the basic steps for me to bake a pie with the tick box against each task and in chronological order, and together with timings of how long I should leave it in between each task if there's any time required, and how long overall it will take to make this pie, and how many people would it feed, and how many grams of ingredients do I need, and it will create that page, printable page, which it will give you a link for which you can click on and download within a minute, and then you can print it out. Let's call it another minute. So within a few minutes, you can have a guide printed out on how to bake a pie with detailed instructions of the ingredients and how to cook it.
Yeah. What I find is though it becomes over helpful. It'll do all the things that you just said, and then it'll say, Keith, would you like me to particularly show you how to make a blueberry pie? And then I have to decide whether I want to see how a blueberry pie is made or leave it at the basic information. So when do you call a halt?
Well, again, that's part of the machine learning. So it'll learn based on your conversation. So, for example, if you said to it, look, stop suggesting anything new to me, just do as I ask you to do, and don't give me so many options. And so it will start to learn to not suggest things to you when you tell it. So just don't suggest things to me. Just do as I ask you to do, like someone would. So it would learn your behavior.
Am I putting myself in a dead end there? Or for instance, I'm in a hurry this morning, so I say, show me how to do this and don't show me anything else. Blah, 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 blah. Then tomorrow I come on and I want to know a lot more in detail. And it says, well, that's it.
So it's all about the new. Every time you talk to it, it's a new time you're talking to it. So you could tell it, say, okay, right now I've got 1 hour to explore this topic. So feel free to ask me questions to help you know what kind of answers I would need, and that would make me feel happy that I've got that knowledge of this subject that we're going to now talk about and explore together. So you see that the wording has to be there as if you're speaking to a human being.
Yeah. Now, how much detail does it retain about you? Let me give you an example. I say, okay, I want to learn how to go fox hunting. And it comes in and it says, okay, Keith, this is what you do. You get on a horse. It gives me the detail. And then I say, I want to know how to go fox hunting in rolling countryside. And it says, blah, 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 and then it says, or then you say, and I want to know if I wear brown boots, am I in fashion? And it's how much of that will it remember for the next time?
All of it. You will
How
remember
how do I access that when I turn on?
you don't access it because that's all part of the algorithm and the machine learning. You can't. There's only certain things you can like. You don't access that. I mean, you can ask it. You can ask it a question. What in specifically? You could say, how much of this information are you going to use? Where are you storing it? You can ask it questions. I won't necessarily know the answer to every single thing, so I would just ask AI. I would just ask it to answer the question that I want to know. And
Right.
but there is a way where you can start a new chat so that it doesn't use machine learning, the history, the information. There is a way to start a new chat and say, which doesn't. It's kind of like an incognito browser window where it doesn't remember your cookies or passwords or information. Similarly, you can start a chat with AI where you say, look, where it doesn't remember anything, and it just for that conversation, it focuses on having that conversation with you newly without any historical information that it will remember.
Okay, now this is quite fascinating. How much do you think is a good amount? I mean, one of the things that when I've used this, and I'm no expert, believe me, but I have been able to use it, is I've asked, let's say, how do you teach a canary to talk? And it tells me, da, 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 da. And then it will come on and it'll say, would you like me to show you how to teach it to talk in French? And you say, oh, well, yeah, okay. Da, 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 da. Would you like me to teach you how to teach you to read in French? I mean, in other words, ad infinitum. How do you discipline yourself to make sure you're getting the information that you can handle? Because the capacity of the computer is enormous. The capacity of the human mind is something less.
We have to discipline ourselves, just like we have to discipline. If somebody said, I want to get a six-pack or biceps, strong big bicep, what does that mean? That means you need to be disciplined in what you eat. You need to be disciplined in how many times you go to the gym, disciplined in how much protein you eat, how many carbohydrates you have. Let me break it down in a simpler format. So currently, people have a challenge even getting off their phone when they logged into Instagram or Facebook or YouTube Shorts, because they just keep scrolling, and they can be scrolling for hours. And so there's already a discipline challenge that people already have. They're not disciplined in stopping to use technology. That was even before AI came along. So now people are just used to having the quick thing, the quick fix, the quick Uber Eats, order me a cab. So people are less reliant on people. And I'm a big advocate on don't use the technology unless you absolutely need to use it for some, if you're desperate, try to just use it very sparingly. Yeah. I would say go to an expert, a human being, and ask them to help you with that thing that you're trying to do. So if I was going to go fox hunting, I would just ask people I know, or because I've got plenty of time to understand about fox hunting. It's not something I need to do tonight or next week. I'm not entering a competition. Let's say it's just a hobby. Then I would just start going to places where there are horses, and then maybe or wherever you maybe do some research on a search engine and say where is it done. So that doesn't require AI. And then once I find out where it's done, I can contact these groups, these people that do fox hunting. Say, can we have a phone call, because I want to explore how to do it. I want to learn how to do it. I want to know the ins and outs. That's a far better way of learning something, I feel, from a human being than using AI, because there's no requirement for me to urgently know something and have receive masses and masses of information. I still would tell people, speak to a human and or read a book. Use the long-winded method, because that helps the brain, training the brain to have that level of discipline to stay focused for a long period of time, instead of what the current social media marketing and advertising is all about: quick learning and quick fixes, which doesn't really help the brain.
Yeah. Well, now, do you have any tips and hints about discipline? Because I can start off and I can say, because I work with V, I will follow what he suggests, and then the computer or whoever I'm talking to asks a question, and I think, oh, that's a good question. So off I go. And I start to go down another road that I'm very interested. And then that triggers something else. Like, oh, I've always wanted to know that. And away I go. How do you discipline yourself to make sure that you're only getting the right amount of information that is helpful, and not that you've got a whole plethora of facts and figures, all of which is interesting and helpful, but I mean, take you a month to go through?
So I would say set a time limit of how long you spend on that activity. So again, it's about scheduling your time to do the task that you want to do. So I would say one tactic that people can use is having a timer and multiple. You could have one for about 5 minutes. You shouldn't need more than 5 minutes to search for things, maybe even 3 minutes. And then when that timer goes off, you can start to see, okay, how much time am I actually spending in researching the thing I need to research? And then you can always you can repeat that timer for another 3 minutes. So by being observant about how much time you're spending on a particular activity, that's how you can be disciplined, by timers. And then you can have an alarm, which could be, let's call it 20 minutes or half an hour. Say, this task should be complete by when the alarm goes off. You could give yourself an allowance for another 10 minutes. But if you start to do that, you start to work in these time windows. So that way you don't get fried. So usually the brain is able to stay focused and really focused and on this task for about 20-25 minutes. Let's just call it 20 minutes. So you got, in 1 hour, you've got 3 20-minute slots. So there's various ways you could just set an alarm or a timer to go off for 20-minute slots. So that way you're keeping a track of, okay, I've spent 20 minutes of the hour or 40 minutes of the hour or the whole hour, 60 minutes on this task. And then you can start to see how much time do you actually need to use or want to use. And then you can schedule that another time. Now, if you finished for that 20 minutes or 40 minutes or hour on that task, and you feel, actually, I do want to spend a bit more time, then you just schedule that slot. That way you're disciplining yourself. I'm only going to work in the parameters that I'm giving myself, the time window that I'm giving myself. That helps people not get fried out, not get frazzled, and to stay on point and on target, so that when they're in control of their conversation and research, either with AI or search engines.
Now, is it possible with the technology, because I'm vaguely aware of the power that we have with this new technology, but I see. Can you, for instance, if we're going along and we're talking about plants, right? And I say, can you show me that? Is it easy to bring in an example, a visual example, or do we have to say, well, I'll do that next time we talk?
Did you just want to clarify? Did you say plants?
Sorry?
Did you say plants? Did you
Yes.
say you want to? Okay, great. So you could ask it to give you a visual representation of the plant that you're trying to grow, and say, give me an example of an image for what this plant that we're making or creating or planting, and it can give you that image. You could even say to it, so we're gonna pause now, and we're gonna pick up a later date. And I would like you to track my progress and make sure that we don't go over X amount of time. And it will know that, and you could say what the time is and say create an alarm for 20 minutes or 5 minutes, and just assist me in making sure I stay on point and concise with the time I spent on researching about plants.
Right. Now, I'm motoring along, and I'm listening to you, and I say, oh gosh, V has really got some very good points. I wonder if he can make sure that I get some good instructional material so that I can follow them at my own leisure. If I say to you, can you online, can you on this program, or can you as an addendum to this program, get some visual materials to me that will help me understand what it is that I'm trying to do? How difficult is that?
Yeah, so it's not difficult. What I can do in the description of this video is add a link to a detailed video where I can share my screen or share the camera, which will show my phone, which I can go through, or I can do a screen recording on my phone or screen of my laptop or PC. I can then upload it into my YouTube channel for Technology Saints, so people can then watch the detailed video on the topic they're interested in and watch and pause and listen to and see visually how to do those how to learn and how to do those particular tasks on their device at home without needing to speak to me.
Right, now V, generally speaking, it's been fascinating listening to you. And what I say is, now, these people can really help me. What do I do to get? What do I do to get basic information? Get you to visit me? Get you to do another online session with me? To do a personal session with me? What's the next step now that you've intrigued me to be able to find out a little bit more?
Well, that's a great point. So now that I've got everyone's attention, all they have to do is grab a pen and paper or a pencil and write down my phone number. So the phone number will allow you to call me or text me or leave me a voicemail and let me know what help you need, because each person needs help in a different way. I like to come in person, so we can schedule a time where I can come to see you and help you. So my number, if you got your pen and paper ready, the number
Right,
is
yes.
07.
Because the important thing is pen and paper.
Pen and paper, absolutely.
Right, okay. Now, how do we get hold of you?
That phone number that people need to write down for help and advice and guidance in person by me. The number is 07961. That's 07961 187864. That's 07961 187864. Call me, leave a voicemail, send me a text SMS, send me whichever is easiest for you. Usually people find it's easier to just give me a call.
Okay, now I'm on a budget. How do I determine how much it's going to cost me?
Well, if you're living in the triangle of Lewis, Eastbourne, and Hove, or slightly beyond that, I don't charge any call-out fees. So there's £0 call-out fee. What I do is I charge based on the work, my time. So if I'm with you for 15 minutes, then you pay for 15 minutes. If I'm there for 45 minutes, then you pay for the 45 minutes. If it's ongoing support, if you need regular support sessions, then I'll work out a different pricing structure which is affordable for you. At the moment, I've got introductory offer, which is for the first 30 minutes is £20.
Right.
So that's quite affordable.
Yes, it is. How many people can you look after? I mean, can you look after a household where the needs may well be different? Or
what I've found is that I usually help people one-to-one, and it's usually people who don't have that kind of support around them, who live on their own, or it's a couple living together. Usually I'm helping people who did not grow up with technology, so there's no children around. So I'm helping the adults of the house use technology for managing their life. It could be filling out a form online. It could be how to download this or how to upload this or how to scan this. It's in relation to their hobbies and interests or their health. Or they want to go abroad and they need to print a boarding pass and the printer's not working. So there's various reasons why people need my help. So sometimes they might call me and need help with their printer, and they might not call me for another 6 months or more. So I've got lots of capacity because not everyone needs help every single day. And there are those who need help weekly for a particular project or a particular task or hobbies or interests or something relating to their health, which stay connected to services and families and friends.
Right. Okay. Now I'm a client, and you're looking after me. How do I make sure that I'm getting everything from you that I possibly can? I mean, for instance, I asked you initially how do I play snooker successfully?
Snooker. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So
you actually give me a course in how to play snooker and so on, and then I come back in a little while and I say, right now I'm really enjoying snooker. How do I convert that to billiards? How well and how quickly can that be done?
Okay. So no one's asked me that question yet, so I'm just going to think of an answer of somebody wants to learn a hobby, let's call it snooker, then they want to make money out of it. So that's an area which there's a particular way I can help people, and it has to be on a realistic, like a real way. Like I could easily say, just like any coach could, is to enter competitions. Enter competitions if you're playing snooker and become the best, and you will earn millions if you're the best in the world. But the likelihood of anyone actually is very small for anyone to earn millions playing snooker, because they would have to be better than people like I can't remember the Dennis Taylor and all these various people. I can't remember those various snooker players. So that's a rare thing, very very rare thing. But if somebody was genuinely interested in learning something and then getting lots of money out of it, I'm more than happy to help them identify the resources they would need to achieve the results and goals.
Right now, we've been going for 43 minutes, so we'll start to calm down a minute. But now, are there rules and regulations covering what we do on the web? For instance, if I said to you, tell me how to rob a bank, what's your response?
I mean, if somebody asked me for that help, I would say I would say that I'm not able to help somebody break the law. That's
Okay.
me as a human. That's me as a human being saying that I'm not going to do it.
Right. Now, you know that I'm totally unprincipled, so I say I want to do it anyway. What are there safeguards on the internet to make sure that sort of thing can't be done?
Yeah, so the safeguards are put in place by companies and organizations. It's their responsibility to make sure that any content online is adhering to safety protocols. Now, people, you've seen various adverts popping up. You can click on report, and you could give a reason why you're reporting that advert or that video or that post, and then it goes to that platform's uh, team, which looks after the privacy and the security, and is adhering to that platform's rules and regulations and terms and conditions of the post being posted. And if that team deems that post is inappropriate, it breaks the guidelines for that platform, they will just take it down. They will just take it down. They will possibly block or ban that channel from ever producing any more content. So there are
Right.
safeguards put in place by the companies that create the platforms. For example, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, various other platforms. They have their own systems and safeguards in place that they create.
The actually the uh, panorama of AI is quite remarkable, isn't it? I mean, if I say to you, I want to learn how to do a model railway layout, all that I would need, and so on and so forth. In fact, you could do that online with AI.
There's a lot of research you can do. So that's why it's good to get a human being to support you with what you're trying to do, because um, a person who's a power user or a efficient, proficient, experienced user of a particular tool can help you use the tool. If I was going to the gym and I started to use the machines because I thought that's what I need to do based on what I've heard, and I hurt myself, I've only got myself to blame. But if I hire a personal fitness instructor there who's got experience with where I'm at in my ignorance on how to use machines in the gym, they would slowly, carefully guide me on using the machines and gradually progress to stronger and heavier weights when they identify that I'm doing it properly and accordingly. So that's why I always say use a human as a coach, a guide, a mentor, a guru, someone that's going to take you from that ignorance, that dark state, into light. So you have that knowledge and the wisdom on how to do that thing that you're trying to do.
Okay, now finally, because you're very knowledgeable and you're very helpful, is there anything that you would like to end with? Your thought for the day, as it were. For instance, be able to say, let me give you some advice as the last sort of thing is how to enjoy a day out at the seaside.
Okay, great. So, what I like to end with, folks, is something we touched on earlier today. It's about discipline. How do we stay disciplined so we have a healthy mind and a healthy body? People are overloaded with notifications and um, notifications basically. So what I would suggest, my top tip of the day, is to have a healthy, good night's rest, because then you've got the energy to deal with the next day. So an easy way to remember that is early to bed, early to rise makes a man strong, healthy, and wise. Now, the way you can do the way you can implement that is put your phone on flight mode 1 hour before going to sleep, at least 1 hour before going to sleep. That will naturally allow the melatonin to release from the body and gradually help you go to sleep. Try to keep the lights on the ceiling turned off and use more softer lighting like lampshades, even candles. Be careful if you can't use candles, but just definitely a warmer glow instead of the bright white lights you get from these ceiling lights, which help prevent which prevent your melatonin release, which is why you shouldn't look at your phone screen at least an hour before going to sleep, because that light from the screen prevents the melatonin release in your body. And once you've had a great healthy sleep and you've gone to bed early and you rise early, you're able to win the morning. When you win the morning, you win the day. So be careful with your time. Uh, get to bed early. Create your evening ritual, because then you're set up for your morning. and success for the day. And then you can plan and schedule your day accordingly and be disciplined. That's really important. There's a lack of that in the world. There's not enough people promoting it. I learned that when I was a novice monk, and I'm just sharing the training I got from the monks in the monastery.
Okay, I think that we'll call it a day there. We've been going for 50 minutes, which is about the average of what anybody can retain, I think. But do you want to just let people know how they can get in touch with you? To ask either for you to go and take a look at what they have to say, or even online advice.
Absolutely. So all the information can be found on my website, www.technologysaints.co.uk. That's technologysaints.co.uk. My phone number's there, information about how you can get help, and also testimonials. And my phone number is 07961 187 864. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week on the Sign of a Saint show.
Okay, now what we'll do for next week is make sure that we've got some strap lines so we can put up those telephone numbers on the screen. So if people have got pen and paper, they can copy them down, or if they're recording this program, they can go back and take a look. But we are relatively new, folks. We are, as we go along, learning on a learning curve ourselves, and we will make sure that in future that information can be flashed up on the screen so you can see it, possibly even perhaps on those little strap lines that go underneath, and they will tell you where to call, what to do if you want further information from us.
Brilliant. And if you need it before we get that in place, just look at the description of this video, and the contact details will be there.
Okay, then. So you want to see us out?
Yes. Well, it's bye-bye from me and bye-bye from Keith. Toodle pip.
Toodle pip. I think am I the one that has to?
Yeah. On the top right, the end stream. In Streamyard.
Yeah. And
oh, there we go. We've got expert advice here.
Oh,